3-yard line. Kevin Krogmeyer made the stop, a pickup of 6 at 2nd and 4 for the Dons from Campion's 21-yard line. They're moving well right now. This has all been on the ground, and they've been picking them up in good chunks. Koenig with a beautiful run that started this drive. Up over the ball come the Dons. In motion goes Brock. The handoff is to the fullback. Pitch back to Brock. He fumbles it, picks it up, and will fight down to about the 21-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Steve Peterson made the stop as the pitch out that time. First of all, the ball was faked to the fullback in the middle, and the Campion Knights converged on Rasmussen. Apparently a fine fake in there by Draxler because it brought the defense in on the fullback, Rasmussen. And then the pitch out to Brock got away from Dave. He picked it up and managed to get back to the line of scrimmage. Coleman has come to the sidelines now. Fritz Hostreiter has replaced him. Up over the ball come the Dons. Split end and a flanker off to the right as Draxler takes the ball, fades the pass, looks over the middle, throws incomplete. Intended for Morzinski. And the Dons will be faced with a 4th and 4 now. That was a 3rd and 4 play. And the Dons are going to call for a timeout. During the timeout, here's Dell.
Jack, the Dons have taken the ball on 5 times from scrimmage and thus far have made 45 yards, which is a fantastic average on that play. I think Brzezinski might have been the tackle eligible on that play, the one they did so well against last week. And Bill Draxler had to throw the pass just a little bit quicker than he would like to because he had a pretty good rush on him. This would be a big play for the Dons. It's going to be a toss-up. You never know what they're going to do down there because they do mix them up so well. They have been able to pick up yards, but you'd say, well, they're not going to run when they've got about 3.5 to 4 yards to go. It's an awful lot they have to pick up for a first down. Maybe on 3rd down they might have, but I doubt it. I think they put the ball in the air, Jack.
It'll be a 4th down play for Columbus. 4 yards to go. The Marshfield Sportscasters Club sending you the play-by-play report on WDLB in Marshfield. Here we go. Mansell flank to the right, split end. Draxler fading the pass, looking over the middle, throwing incomplete. Paul Mansell diving for the ball on the 10-yard line. But we've got a marker down. It's going to be roughing the passer. Roughing the passer, I believe, will be the call as Bill Draxler was clobbered after he released that football. And the official right there dropped the football, or dropped the flag right on the 30-yard line. That's where Draxler got up slowly. He's all right. But we're going to have a walk-off against Campion. The Dons will have a first down. Personal foul against the Campion Knights. 1st and 10 for the Columbus High School Dons. The ball resting on the 10-yard line. We cannot say 1st and goal to go because it is conceivable that the Dons could get a first down without getting a touchdown, as it was just a fraction shy of the 10-yard line. Running room to the right. Draxler, the quarterback, hands off to Rasmussen off the right side. He fights down close to the 6-yard line. Jeff Rasmussen finding a little opening off the right side. Ed Cartensen made the stop on Rasmussen, but he knifed down very close to the 5-yard line. Let's give him a pickup of 5 on that play. And it's 2nd and 5 from the 5.5-yard line. Just over 5 for a TD. Just under 5 for a first down. Up over the ball, the Dons. Draxler with the ball off to Rasmussen, off the right side. He cuts inside the 5. He's down to the 3-yard line where he sort of slipped as he cut. But the Campion Knights had converged on him at that point. Tom Martin first to him. Ball is spotted on the 3-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down. 3 yards to go from about the Campion 3.5-yard line. Going gets tough down inside that 5. The Dons will dig in right now as they come up over the ball. Drock is off to the right. Rasmussen, the running back. The other, Drock in motion now to the left. Handoff is to Rasmussen. No hole. He's met at the line of scrimmage and stopped. Making the stop was Roger Jerrick. Kurt Koenig will go into the ball game at this point. 6 minutes and 22 seconds remaining to be played here in the first quarter. No score. Koenig has replaced Dave Drock, and Drock comes limping off the field. He certainly is not 100% right now. And he has blood on the front of his uniform also, probably from a bloody nose. But it's the knee that the Dons undoubtedly are concerned with. Draxler on the rollout, keeps himself, spins, gets down to the 2 to the 1-yard line. He didn't make it though. I believe the Campion Knights have held. It's going to be first down for Campion as Draxler on the keeper. It's going to be stopped now as they unpile back on the 3-yard line. Making the stop was Randy Ham, and the Dons' long drive downfield is stopped on Campion's 3. First and 10 for Campion now from their own 3-yard line. A tough break for the Dons. They would have liked to have picked up 6 or 7 right there. Quarterback Moore sets the ball club, fades back, hands off on the draw play to the fullback, which is Trosh, and he gets to the 5, where Tom Coleman makes the stop with help from Perry Kaiser. Ball is just shy of the 5. We'll call it the 5, making it 2nd and 8 for Campion from their own 5. The Dons have forced the Knights deep in their own territory with that long drive, done almost entirely on the ground. They're done entirely on the ground. A couple passes were thrown, but incomplete. Tim Moore, his quarterback, sets the Campion team, hands off a fumble, and the halfback picks it up in midstream, right as he crossed the line of scrimmage. It bounced high into the air, and Troush picked it up, and Mansell made the stop, and the Dons could have had a loose football there. That ball was over his head at one point, bouncing away, but it was right in line with the direction he was going, and he never broke stride, just gathered it in, picked up a first down as he went for 10 yards. First and 10 for Campion from the 15. The handoff this time to Troush again, and he barrels over the line of scrimmage for 2 or 3 yards. Check that. Carrying the ball that time was Peterson. Peterson, number 42, a halfback, and Troush, number 32, the fullback. Troush has been doing almost all the ball carrying up until that time, and it was Peterson who shot in there. Mark Smith made the defensive stop. Pickup of 2 on the play at 2nd and 8 for Campion from the 17. Moore, the quarterback, takes the ball, hands off to the halfback who is hit behind the line of scrimmage, and a big pile up there. Getting up off the bottom of the pile was the fullback that time, Troush. We're not sure who had the ball. There appeared to be somewhat of a mix-up in that backfield. A big pile up as the Dons came in on him. Jim Hasselberger led the way. Back on the 15-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down now in about 9. Or the quarterback, hands off to the halfback, Peterson, coming off the right side. He gets across the 15 to the 16. He's piled up there by Perry Kaiser, along with Jim Hasselberger. But Kaiser was down on the bottom of the pile, and Hasselberger helping out. It's on the 18, and a 3rd down play, or a 4th down play, in about 7 or 8 yards. Let's say 4th and 7 for Campion. Punt situation. Drock and Mansell go back in twin safeties. Back to do the kicking is Kevin Krogmeyer, an end. He'll be putting his foot into the ball somewhere around his own 10-yard line. The lines are poised. There's the snap, a good snap. Kick is away, and it's a high sailing beauty. Mansell, fair catch on Campion's 44-yard line. Mansell fair catches it on Campion's 44th, so the Dons get the football back in excellent field position. First and 10 Columbus from Campion's 44. 3 minutes, 12 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter. There is no score. Quarterback Bill Draxler talking to his team in his own territory. And now they cross the 50-yard line as they run up to the line of scrimmage, which is Campion's 44. Draxler sends Rock in motion. Hands off to the fullback, Rasmussen, who gets about 3 yards as he started to come to the left and then cut up the middle and penetrated to the 41. Randy Ham made the stop, a pickup of 3 at 2nd and 7 from the 41. 2:40, clock running, first quarter play. No score. This afternoon, Two Rivers defeated the Marshfield Tigers 27-0. In a CWCC game, Pacelli beat Newman. Stevens Point, Pacelli 21, Wausau Newman 6. Handoff to Drock on a trap off the right side. Drock running hard, crosses the 40, gets down to the 36. And Drock's leg did not appear to bother him that time as he smashed in there on a crossbuck, got to the 36-yard line. Ed Cartensen made the stop, a pickup of 5. It's going to be 3rd and 2. From the 36. Up over the ball come the Dons now. Rasmussen, the running back. Drock, the other running back. And the handoff to Rasmussen. He's at the 35. Spins. He's down to the 30. Beautiful carrying by Rasmussen down to the 30-yard line. He had a spin at the 33 that got him 3 yards, Dal. Tremendously well done by Jeff Rasmussen, the sophomore. Bob Johnson made the stop on the 30. Kurt Keeney coming into the Dons backfield, replacing Dave Drock. First and 10 Columbus from Campion's 30-yard line. This game played almost entirely in Campion territory so far. 1:45 right now on the scoreboard clock. First quarter action. Draxler sets his ball club. Fades to pass. Looks. Has time. Throws deep to Mansell. Couldn't get it on the 5. Paul Mansell, with his arms outstretched, had that ball tick his fingertips on the 5. And Dave Drax goes into the ball game replacing Kurt Koenig. After the Dons have been grinding him out, suddenly Bill Draxler went for the long one, the instant TD, and almost connected. It'll be 2nd and 10 Dons from Campion's 30. Mansell split way out to the right. Rasmussen out to the left this time. Fading to pass. Draxler, quarterback screen to Drack, and he's hit from behind as he takes it on about the 30 and gets to the 26-yard line. Ed Cartensen diagnosed that play perfectly, and he was the only boy who would have a shot at Drack because the wall had formed in front of Drack. Cartensen caught him from behind. Koenig replaces Rasmussen now in the Dons backfield. The ball is on the 26. That was a pickup of 4, making it 3rd and about 6 for Columbus from the 36. Off to the right goes Paul Mansell as the flanker back. Draxler, the quarterback, fading to pass. On the draw play, hands off to Koenig, and there's no room. He's dropped for a loss back on the 27 or 8-yard line. Randy Ham diagnosed that play and stops the ball carrier for a loss back on the 27-yard line. So it's going to be 4th down now. And the Dons call for a timeout. The Marshfield Sportscasters Club sending you the play-by-play action on WDLB in Marshfield. Bill?
Well, Jack, we're going to start hitting on these passes pretty soon because Draxler has done such a fantastic job of passing. The first game he hit for 216 yards, and the second one I think it was for about 230 yards. And his percentage is almost 60%. And it's just been over the fingertips of a few of these boys. I did think that they might call an interference on that last one. Mansell had the boy beat. The fellow reached out and gave him a push. The ball was in the air. The referee just didn't happen to be looking in the right spot at the right time. No question in my mind that there was an interference on it because it broke Paul's stride, and consequently the ball was just off his fingertips. But it'll be kind of interesting to see what they do now. If they're going to gamble, they're on the 30, about the 26-yard line. If they punt into the end zone, the ball will come out to the 20. I think they're going to try to go for the first down.
It's a 4th down play. The Dons need about 7. Let's see what Bill Draxler calls. Takes the snap from center and fades the pass. Rushes on. He throws out in the flat. It's incomplete. Pass incomplete. Out on the flat. We're not sure who it was intended to. As they get up, there isn't a receiver around. Not a receiver around. The screen had formed. I think the receiver went the wrong side, it appears. There was not a receiver among that group of Marshfield Dons. So the Campion Knights take over, 1st and 10, on their own 27. Up over the ball they come. Quarterback is Moore, takes the snap, fades back to pass, he's looking, he throws, it's incomplete. And Kaiser is in there to put the pressure on him. From the defensive end spot, and his pass was underthrown. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Campion from their 27, with a half-minute remaining in a scoreless first quarter so far. The Dons against Prairie du Chien Campion. The Knights quickly come up over the ball. Tim Moore, the quarterback, takes the snap, fakes, pitches pitch out to a halfback who's trying to get to the outside, turns the corner, crosses the 30, comes up to about the 33-yard line. A nice gain there as Mike Miller took that pitch out, went to the outside, got a good block that enabled him to turn the corner, and he carried up to the 34-yard line, a gain of 7. Paul Mansell made the stop, and it's going to be 3rd and 3 from that point. Fritz Ostreiter helped out, and I believe that will be the last play of the first quarter. Campion comes up over the ball, but the first quarter is all over. Campion nothing and Columbus nothing. These numbers, the Marshfield Sportscasters Club, making the broadcast possible. Ken and John, your friendly auto service merchants, go first class at Hub City 66 service station. Marshfield Savings and Loan Association, the friendly folks to see you through. The Leo Nicolai Insurance Agency, and Ray T. Beer, he suits me. And Don Rockoach, your mobile oil distributor for prompt fuel oil delivery and service. Del?
Well, Jack, the Dons in the first quarter picked up 66 yards on the ground to the Red Knights of Campion's 22, and either team, the Columbus did complete one screen pass for 5 yards, played beautifully by Campion. This is really getting to be turning into kind of a defensive scheme after that one beautiful drive of Columbus that fell short on a 3-yard line.
Here it is, 3rd and 3 for Campion at the start of the second quarter. And the first down will be picked up by the quarterback on a quarterback sneak as he blasts up across the line of scrimmage and fights all the way up across the 40 to the 42-yard line where Al Hardo made the stop. Tim Moore on the quarterback sneak got more than the yards he needed. He got almost 10. We'll give him 9 yards on that play, and it's 1st and 10 for Campion from their own 43-yard line. Up over the ball come the Knights now. T formation. Well, I formation. And the handoff is given to the halfback, which is Peterson. And Peterson may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And we doubt if he got back to that line of scrimmage. Ball carrier, the ball is spotted, we'll say on the 43-yard line. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 43. Up over the ball once again, Campion Knights. This time Peterson is split way out here to the left. The handoff is given to the second man through, breaks into the secondary. He's at the 50, a flag on the play. He's at the 40, he's at Columbus 38-yard line, but there's a marker down. Paul Mansell finally made the stop on the ball carrier. A beautiful run, I believe, may be nullified. It's going to be a penalty against Campion. And there's a break for the Columbus High School Dons because the Campion Knights had a deep penetration in the Columbus territory on that particular play with a big gainer, but it's in vain, and a 5-yard walk-off will be assessed against the Campion Knights. That brings the ball back to the 38-yard line. And it's going to be 2nd and 15 from the 38 for Campion. Flanked off here to the left comes Peterson. Quarterback puts the ball, hands off to Miller, the same type of play. And this time he doesn't get the big yardage. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and spins for a couple. Stopped on the 39. He gets 1 yard on the play. Bob Rose making the stop with help from Al Hardo on that play. And it's going to be 3rd down and 14 for Campion from their own 39-yard line. And now the Don secondary will have to be alert. Coming off here to the left is Peterson. He's the wingback out here, just outside his left end. The end's in tight. Quarterback takes the draw, then dates back as the pass deflected away by 2 on-rushing Dons. Batting it away, Marzinski was through there, and so was Mark Smith. They put the pressure on the quarterback, and the screen was forming. The quarterback faked the draw as he tried to set up the screen, with the screen forming off on the left, but Marzinski and Smith came through too quickly, and they deflected the pass away, fell incomplete, 4th down, long yardage. Kevin Krogmeyer in punt formation for Campion. Mansell and Drock back in double safeties between their 30 and 35. And there's the kick, an end-over-end sailing kick to land on the 35, bounces to the 30, inside to the 25, still rolling, and will roll dead on the Don's 22-yard line. A beautiful kick there by Kevin Krogmeyer. Mansell and Drock were unable to field that kick, and the ball took the Campion hop and kept rolling and finally went dead. We'll see where they spot it as they bring it in now to the hash mark on the far sidelines. It's on the 21. 1st and 10 Columbus, pushed back in their own territory on their own 21-yard line now. Just over 10 minutes remaining to be played here in the first half. No score. We've just started second quarter play. Draxler hands off to Drock, and Drock is met at the line of scrimmage on a vicious tackle. Breaking through was Bob Johnson. The ball carrier, Drock, was hit right at the line and dropped for a loss. As a matter of fact, it'll be 2nd and 11 from the 20. As Drock, injured on the kickoff, had his knee taped back in the ball game, has not looked as brilliant as he did last week when he was simply tremendous out there. Draxler, the quarterback, takes the ball, keeps himself, gets away from one tackler, still on his feet, gets back to the line of scrimmage and maybe to the 21-yard line, and no more, as Roger Jarek was hanging on to him at that point. And they give him a gain of 1 yard, making it 3rd and 10 from the 21. They lost a yard and gained a yard in 2 plays, and Kirk Koenig goes into the ball game now. He will replace Rasmussen. Rasmussen, I believe, is the Don's leading ground gainer so far. Although Kirk Koenig had 1 big gainer. 8:55 remaining to be played until halftime. A scoreless battle so far. Up over the ball come the Dons. 3rd down 10. A big play for the Dons. They'll have to go here or release that ball, and Draxler's fading the pass. Being rushed, still going. Now he throws downfield, and Mansell is knocked down, and nothing will be called. Paul Mansell knocked down on the 40-yard line and couldn't get to the football, and the officials right there claim no interference, and it's going to be a fourth down play. And there'll probably be some talking about that play. Paul Mansell will be kicking from deep in his own territory. He will be putting his foot into the ball from somewhere around his 12-yard line. Back in twin safety, Steve Peterson and Mike Miller. They're standing between their own 40 and 45. Lines are poised. There's the snap. And the kick is away, and it's a high, short one. Going to land on the Dons 48. Bounces straight up in the air. And still bouncing and will roll dead on Columbus 48-yard line. That ball would not take a hop one way or another. It just bounced straight up and came down and went straight up again and bounced dead. Campion takes over an excellent field position. First and 10 from the Dons 48-yard line. Clock is running with 8:25 remaining here in the first half. No score in the ball game. Up over the ball come the Campion Knights. Tim Moore, their quarterback. Troush and Miller, the running backs. Quarterback keeps. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, gets away, crosses the line of scrimmage, and comes fighting up close to the 47-yard line. And he's piled back at that point, but he has a couple 3 yards. Ray Scheuer, first contact. Helped out by Barb Rose. The ball is on the Dons 46-yard line. So a pickup of about 3 yards, we'll say. Second and 7. This series started closer to the 49. And we'll say it's second and 7 from the Dons 46. Quarterback takes the ball on the cross, hands off to the halfback, coming back, which is Peterson, and Peterson breaks into the secondary. He's close to a first down as he crosses the Dons 40-yard line. Paulie Mansell making the stop at that point. They spot it down, and it's going to be just shy of a first down. Third down, and about 1 yard to go from almost the 39-yard line. Campion slowly pushing the Dons back further and further. No score in the ball game. The Dons still have the deepest penetration all the way down to Campion's 3, but couldn't punch it in. And on the draw, the handoff is given to the halfback who breaks into the secondary. Still on his feet at the 25, still going and hauled down by Brock on the 20-yard line, the 19-yard line. Carrying brilliantly that time was Jim Troush. And Troush got Campion down inside the Dons 20-yard line. He broke 2 or 3 tackles in there, just kept driving, and they spot it, we'll say, on the 20-yard line. First and 10 for Campion from the Dons 20-yard line. Just under 7 minutes remaining to be played in the first half, and Campion with its first serious threat. The Knights come up over the ball. Moore, the quarterback, takes the snap, rolls out, behind interference, cuts in and drives down to about the 16-yard line. Mark Smith making the defensive tackle at that point, and also getting up off the bottom of the pile. A couple of the other Dons. Tom Coleman was in there. The ball is spotted on the 16-yard line. A gain of 4. It's second and 6 from the 16. Moore, the quarterback. And there's going to be a mix-up, a scramble, flags all over, and we're not sure what the call will be here. Offside against the Columbus High School Dons. One of the Dons really came through that time, but came through one snap too quick. Too quickly he was through. And Campion will pick up a 5-yard walk-off via the penalty. So it's going to be 3rd and 1 for Campion from the Dons 11-yard line, just shy of the 11. Clock is running with just over 6 minutes remaining until halftime, and the Campion Knights are getting down close. Second down, we should say, for Campion. Short yardage. Quarterback wants the ball, fading back. He's going to pass. He's hit. Loses the football. A scramble is on. It's going to be Campion's ball back on the 15-yard line. Breaking through for the Dons, a couple of boys, and the ball, just as the quarterback was going to throw, had his arm hit. He lost the football. The official ruled it a fumble, and Mike Miller recovered back on the 20-yard line. So it's going to be third down now and about 10 yards to go for the Campion Knights. Campion electing to go to the air that time, and the Dons defensive rush upset that play. The quarterback takes the ball, pitches out to the halfback, trying to sweep to the left. He can't do it. He's going to be pushed out of bounds on the 17-yard line. Making the tackle was Ray Scheuer, and he had a little other help there from Manso and Hasselberger, who drifted over. The ball is spotted on the 18-yard line, a gain of only 2, and it's going to be 4th and 8 for Campion from the Dons' 18-yard line. And the Dons have to hold them once more. Their place kicker is going to come into the ball game now, I believe, and we're going to have an attempted field goal. Ron Farina, who was kicking them with accuracy from 30 and 35 yards out, has just got the kicking tee, and he is coming out of the field to attempt a field goal. Tim Moore, the quarterback, was over talking with the Campion coach, Nick Campbell. They will have an angle as the ball is on the hash mark from the near sideline. And, of course, a lot can happen just because they spot that ball with the kicking tee. That's no sign they are going to be kicking. But it's going to be on the 25-yard line. Moore, the quarterback, will be holding. Ron Farina will be kicking. He can kick him. We saw in pregame practice he was putting him through there. So Ron Farina has paced off the distance. The lines are poised. There's the snap, a high snap. The kick is blocked. And off to the right, bouncing down and rolling on into the end zone. Jim Hasselberger came through there like he was shot out of a cannon. And he blocked that kick. Jim Hasselberger, saving 3.
This Jim Hasselberger is 160 pounds of dynamite. As I think I mentioned every game we watched him play now. I wish this boy were about 20, 30 pounds heavier, because he would make some college a tremendous guard he's got. And he plays linebacker on the defensive team. Now let's see if this will inspire this offensive team. Not that the offense hasn't been moving, but they kind of get a drive going, and if something happens to sputter it down. But I'm sure things will be straight. Now, both of these teams, I'd have to say, have been scouted absolutely perfectly. They know each other's weaknesses, and they know each other's strengths, and it's really a beautiful football game.
The Dons take over 1st and 10 on their own 20. Brock goes in motion, and Draxler hands off to Rasmussen, who carries up across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Stop made by Ed Carstensen, and it's going to be 2nd down and 7 for the Columbus High School Dons from their own 23-yard line. Clock is running with 4:50 remaining in the first half. The Dons had moved to Campion's 3, could not score. Campion had moved down to the Dons' 11, but were pushed back, and a field goal attempt was blocked. No score. 4:33 remaining in the first half. Draxler, the quarterback, sets his ball club, takes the snap, hands off to Drock, who can't find the opening, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. The opening was there, but Drock couldn't get to it in time as Campion closed the door, and Bob Johnson made the contact at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Dons. The ball's still on their 23, and Kurt Kinney comes into the ball game replacing Brock, who comes to the sideline. And here's a big 3rd down play for the Dons. 3:55 right now remaining in the first half. Draxler, the quarterback, talking things over now, pitches back to Koenig. Koenig trying to sweep to the outside, gives ground, cuts into the 20, he's at the 25, he's up to the 28-yard line, but he's going to be shy of the first down. This Koenig was drifting out there nicely, and when he cut back, he picked up good yardage, but not enough, as Ed Carstensen made the stop on the 28-yard line, and it's going to be a 4th down play. Varney goes into the ball game, Draxler coming out, and with 3:25 remaining in the first half, a scoreless first half, the Dons will have to relinquish that football as Paul Mansell goes back in punt formation. He will be kicking from about his 15-yard line or so. Lines are poised. There's the snap, a high snap, but Paul gets the ball, gets the kick away, and it's a sailing kick that will land on Campion's 45 and bounce out of bounds somewhere around the 43. So Paul Mansell has not been kicking real well here this evening. We have seen him hit some real spiraling beauties. Campion takes over, 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line. We'll keep an eye on that clock now. No score, first half action. 3 minutes, 2 seconds left in the first half, so Campion has plenty of time to move that ball downfield. Coming way off here to the left is Steve Peterson. Moore, the quarterback, takes the ball and hands off to, keeps himself and moves up to the 49-yard line, maybe the 50-yard line. Into the ball game for the Dons now goes Ed Schmersick. Dave Drock made the stop on the midfield stripe. A pickup of 6 for Moore, the quarterback, that time on a keeper. 2nd and 4, Campion from the midfield stripe. 2:40 left in the first half. Scoreless battle. Campion 2-0 on the season. The Dons 2-0 on the season. There's the snap and the handoff to the fullback, and contact made at the line of scrimmage, but he drives for a couple. Carrying was the fullback, Jim Troush, with Mark Smith making the stop on the Dons 48-yard line. A pickup of 2. It's going to be 3rd and 2, Campion from the 48. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Campion apparently going to try and grind out a first down right now, as they've been cracking up that line. Quarterback hands off to the fullback, Troush, who's got the first down as he fights to the 45. Jim Troush carrying, got the first down on the Dons 45. Making the stop was Bob Rose. And now Campion, with 1 minute and 54 seconds remaining to play in the first half, calls for a timeout. We call for down.
Well, Jack, I would imagine we're going to see just a little bit of throwing right now with 1 minute and 54 seconds left in there. That's eating up too much time on the clock. They do have 2 more timeouts left, according to what I have them down here for. So with the ball on the Columbus 45, I do believe they're going to start throwing the ball a little bit. They're going to have to maybe go for the bomb. They can gamble just a little bit. Maybe we can pick one off before the half and still get on the board. It's really been a tremendous football game. Both teams are hitting hard. They're both good, quick-moving lines. And I don't know, this is going to be a toss-up all the way. Naturally, we're from Marshfield, bowling for Columbus, and they've got a big contingent of boys down here from Campion. It's the first time I've ever seen them bring following from the school. They brought 3 busloads of boys, and they make a lot of noise across the way. We've got a beautiful crowd here from Marshfield tonight on this side of the stand, so maybe the boys will hang her up for us yet, Jack.
All righty, here we go. 1st and 10, Campion on the Dons 45. 1 minute and 54 seconds remaining to be played here in the first half. Quarterback takes the ball, hands off to the fullback, Crouch, who crosses the 40, gets down to the Dons 39-yard line. Making the stop there was Al Hardall. Campion quickly goes back into the huddle. They spot the ball on the 39, we'll say. A pickup of 6 at 2nd and 4, Campion. The Knights apparently feel they are going to try and keep driving on the ground. At least up till now, that has been the case. Peterson comes flanked off here to the left. There's the quarterback almost fumbling the ball, fading the pass, being hit, and Kaiser has it on the 50. Barry Kaiser got him for a big loss, and Ed Schmersick was right there helping out. Dale spotted on the Dons 49-yard line. Perry Kaiser, tremendous defensive play last week. Back in there again tonight. He just caught the quarterback for a 10-yard loss. And that takes the pressure off a little. It's 3rd and 14 for Campion from the Dons 49-yard line. Less than a minute to play here in the first half. It's been a scoreless first half. Lines are poised. The quarterback fading the pass. Has time. He looks. He throws. It's intercepted by Scheuer at the 50. He's at the 30. He's at the 30. 25. 20. 15. 10. 5. Touchdown. Dons score an interception by Ray Scheuer. Hey, hey. With 40 seconds, 39 seconds left to be played. Campion trying to get the touchdown. Scheuer intercepts and goes all the way for a touchdown. A beautiful bit of running, especially with some blocking in the last 20 yards. When he used the block and cut back to the inside after going down the sideline, the Campion Knight couldn't catch him, and Scheuer went into the Dons lead 6-0, and the Dons call for a timeout. Now,
that was the play of the play. This kid Scheuer, everything cool has told me about this boy has been true this year. I think it's the second pass he's intercepted tonight, and this one I had him for 60 yards for that touchdown, but he ran down these sidelines, and he had a blocker ahead of him, and he used his blocker to the most, just beautiful, just like you're sitting down in Green Bay watching Bob Jeter or Lionel Herb Adderley take that ball and go behind his blockers, but it's just a beautiful hip fake down there on the 10-yard line, and away he went all the way in. I'm so very proud of this youngster. This is a football family, this Sawyer family, and there's another one coming up in this Ray, and he's proved himself this year with some unbelievable play. He does a tremendous job at the end, and he's got a good pair of hands, but he's a quick boy in that defensive backfield. And that was the play of the year, I think, so far. Of course, this game isn't over with yet by a long shot. But I see Coach Kroll wants a timeout, can't get it. But for the extra point. Okay,
they're going to try the extra point. The ball gets away from the Don. Scheuer's racing for it, picks it up, but couldn't quite pick it up, gets away from him again back on the 20-yard line. And the extra point will be no good. The Don missed Coach Crow's signal for another timeout. He wanted a timeout along the sidelines. We're not sure what happened, but he couldn't get the attention of the players. He tried to send a substitution in, couldn't get the substitution in time, and the extra point failed, so the score remains 6-0. But the crowd here at Beal Stadium came to their feet with excitement when Scheuer latched onto that pass as thrown by Tim Moore as Campion was desperately trying to take the lead late in the first half. Scheuer got his two hands on it, and he set sail some 60 yards for a touchdown down the near sidelines with a cutback inside the 20-yard line that put the Dons on top. And now the Columbus High School Dons, Kobe, will be kicking off with 39 seconds left to be played in the first half. The Dons now leading 6-0. Lines are poised. Advancing now. Kobe putting the ball. A high end-over-end beauty. Coming down to the 10-yard line where it's taken by Peterson. Right up the middle. Across the 20 to the 25, and he knew he made contact as he got to the 28-yard line. Stop made by Ray Scheuer. Oh, and there was a collision on the 28. So Campion will try and do something quick now. First and 10 on their own 28-yard line. Clock is running. 27 seconds left. Campion trailing 6-0 on the long interception by Ray Scheuer. Moore, the quarterback, is fading, then hands off to the fullback on a draw play. Up the middle, and Bob Rose diagnoses it perfectly, grabs them right at the line of scrimmage and drops them for no gain. 10 seconds remaining. That probably will be the last play of the first half. Clock still running, 4 seconds left, and the halftime score will read in favor of the Columbus High School Dons as the first half ends right now with the Columbus High School Dons leading the Campion Knights of Prairie du Chien by a score of 6-0 in a tremendously hard-fought first half. The Marshfield Sportscasters Club sending you the play-by-play report over WDLB in Marshfield. Some of the members include Mid-State Truck Service, complete truck and trailer repair and parts, plus V-Line truck alignment. Mittens Home Appliances featuring RCA and Admiral Color TV sets with complete service. The General Telephone Company, Burt Trophies, manufacturers, designers, and engravers of trophies and plaques for all occasions. Marshfield Athletic Club, an organization devoted to the promotion and development of athletics and recreation activities of all types for all people. Al Mercer and Ronald Arnold at Mercer's Barbershop, featuring men's hairstyling with private booths. Phone ahead for an appointment. The Citizens National Bank, the folks at Rem's Funeral Home, dedicated to those they serve. Thomas Electric Service, your electrical contractor with motor rewinding service. And Joel and Lyle Strack at Strack Central Super Shell, complete motor tune-up and popular Shell products. Along with Earl Henline at Engelbrecht Cleaners, let Earl do it. Cole's Music Store, pianos, organs, and band instruments, sales, rental, and prompt local service. The Wayne Drug Company, 24-hour prescription service, free delivery. Cliffhanger Cycle Service, BSA, Triumph, BMW, and Yamaha motorcycles and all accessories. And Miller's Glass and Sports Shop. Everything for the sportsman in the modern sports shop at 102 South Chestnut. Halftime show be sent your way by Marshall Book and Stationery Incorporated and Chips Drive-In. And the halftime finds the Columbus High School Dons leading Campion by a score of 6-0 in a turnaround of events here. The Dons, early in the ball game, have control of the game. They penetrated all the way down to Campion's 3-yard line. Their drive fizzled, and the Dons seemed to fizzle right there. Campion then started to take control. They had a good drive going and ended up with a blocked field goal attempt. A little bit later, late in the first half, Campion was desperately trying to score, and Ray Scheuer came through, picked off a pass, and rambled some 60 yards for an instant TD. The extra point attempt failed when a snap from center got away from the boy who was going to spot the ball. And the score here at halftime is Marshfield Columbus 6 and Prairie du Chien Campion nothing. It's been a tremendously hard-fought first half. Does your appetite seem to rise with all the excitement of the game and all? Well, here's a quick and delicious solution to your problem. After the game is over, head for Chip's Drive-In on Marshfield's north side. Enjoy one of Chip's delicious hamburgers with a nice thick mouth. Sounds great, doesn't it? Or try a Chip's Champ sandwich, a quarter pound of beef with lettuce, Thousand Island dressing, and a slice of cheese on a jumbo oversized bun. And have you heard about Chip's delicious fish burgers? They're great. And top it off with a tasty Applejack. So after the game is over, meet your friends at Chip's Drive-In. You'll enjoy Chip's quick service, fine food, and smiling faces. Chip's Drive-In, Marshfield, North Side. The Dons are leading 6-0. I'd like to remind you that immediately following this game on WDLB this evening, you can hear the University of Wisconsin Badgers in football action from the state of Arizona tonight. Live and direct kickoff time in Arizona is slated for 10 o'clock, and the broadcast of that game will start immediately following this Columbus Campion play-by-play report. This afternoon, Two Rivers High School defeated the Marshfield Tigers 27-0. After a scoreless first quarter, Two Rivers took a 13-0 lead at halftime and won 27-0. In a CWCC game this afternoon, Stevens Point Pacelli 21, Wausau Newman 6. Now with some halftime statistics, here's Dal.
Okay, Jack, thank you. First of all, for the Knights of Campion from Prairie du Chien, they have gained 60 yards rushing. They've had their miseries in the passing department. They have gained nothing by passing. They've attempted 4 passes. They have 2 passes intercepted. They have 5 first downs by rushing, none by passing. They were penalized for a total of 25 yards. They have punted twice for an average of 34 yards. So the Campion Knights have ground up some good yardage on the ground off and on. This boy Trush, their fullback, has gained 43 yards so far tonight in about 10 attempts I have him for. So he's got a good average going for him, really power. They've been catching the Columbus team, I'd say, on the trap play, coming back sort of a scissors or trap, whatever you want to call it, cutting back the opposite way, the way the flow of the traffic is going. And that's where he's picked up quite a bit of yardage. And this halfback Miller has picked up 9 yards. Peterson has picked up 12. And there's going to be a habit with these quarterbacks playing against Columbus. They usually end up in a hole on their yardage because they get hit when they're trying to pass, and that comes off of the yardage game. So he's he's lost 5 yards tonight. In the ground gaining department for the Columbus High School Dons, Bill Draxler has gained 2 yards on 2 attempts. Dave Drock has carried the ball 4 times and has gained 6 yards. He was injured, as Jack told you, on the very first on the kickoff of the game, either blocking or tackling out there. And here his knee. I could see the doc right in front of us taping up his knee. And I think it has hampered him, especially in his cutting. He doesn't have that, like last week when he gained 106 yards on the ground. His cutting was absolutely beautiful. But it's slowing him down quite a bit. But we've got this young Jeff Rasmussen, a sophomore, showing tremendous ability here again tonight. He's picked up 38 yards on the ground in 9 attempts, which is above and beyond a Call of Duty when you figure the kid is just a sophomore out there. And then Kurt Koenig, a junior, the boy who couldn't play last year because of a broken leg, is carried the ball 3 times, has picked up 28 yards. In the passing department, the Dons have picked up 74 yards on the ground, 5 by passing for a total of 79 yards in the first half. They 3 first downs by rushing, 1 by penalties for a total of 4. They attempted 6 passes, completed 1, which was a screen pass to Drock for 5 yards. They have been penalized for 20 yards. They have punted twice for a total of 27 yards. Mantle isn't getting their foot into the ball like we know he can do. One of his punts was just for 26 and 1 for 28, which is about 10 yards, I'd say, below his average, because this boy can really, he's got a good football build, he's got a heavy leg, and he gets that into the, and put into the ball, he really puts it out there. I think that's one part of the football game that has improved so much over the years has been the punting. I noticed yesterday I was over at watching Stratford play Abbotsford, and the distance these boys get from punting is really something to behold. And this kid from Campion tonight kicking very well. And this boy, as Jack mentioned, trying the extra points before the game and field goals, he was kicking them from 30 yards out. And listening to the senior high game on the radio this afternoon, this boy from Two Rivers kicking a 32-yard and a 39-yard field goal. Well, I think Mr. Pinkston from Green Bay better take a little trip down the line a few miles and take a look at this boy, because you get a kid that can kick him like that in high school, and he's probably still growing. We don't know. They claimed he was about 150, 160 pounds, which is not a big boy, but he's kicking them that soccer style where they get the instep into the ball, and that means an awful lot. We have a score from this afternoon also. The Sacred Heart grade school team defeated Colby grade school up at Colby. I believe it was 19-0 or something around there. We jotted it down while running across the field before the game, and I hope I got that down right. 17 or 19-0. And then they had a couple of games this week. The Columbus junior varsity defeated Medford last Monday night. As a freshman, they had two games. They defeated Auburndale and the Medford freshmen. Auburndale on Monday, the freshman later in the week. And the next Monday night, up at the Columbus, there will be a game at 4 o'clock. I believe it's the junior varsity. The next Saturday morning, the freshmen play at 10:30 against Appleton Xavier up at Columbus. So there's a lot of football. In the afternoon, I know there's grade school football up at Columbus. If you want to see football, fans, there's a lot of football. I have friends here tonight that were over at Stratford yesterday, went over to Walsall last night, went back to see Pacelli and Newman play today, and they're out here tonight. And probably they may even take off from Milwaukee in the morning to see the Packers play tomorrow. The band is playing right now, so let's see if we can pick up a little bit of that band music.
Halftime here at Beal Stadium. The Marshall Columbus High School Dons leading Campion by a score of 6-0. Del Connaughty on halftime giving you the statistics. And he's going to have a little bit of a cup of coffee right now using the cup from the cocoa, I guess. Halftime show being sent your way by Marshall Book and Stationery Incorporated and by Chips Drive-In, Marshfield's North Side. When you're downtown shopping, stop at Marshall Book and Stationery Incorporated and look over their huge display of decorative styrofoam holiday centerpieces. Pick yours out and order it for holiday delivery. Remember that holiday isn't as far off as you think. If you prefer, Marshall Book has all the needed materials for you to make your own, all shapes of styrofoam, ribbons, ornaments, glitter, and all other materials accessories. Stop by soon. Take a quick glance at what's new. That's at Marshall Book and Stationery downtown. 6-0, Marshall Columbus leading Prairie du Chien Campion in a CWCC battle. And it's dandy here in the first half. Scoreless through the entire first half until less than 40 seconds remain. 39 seconds remaining in the first half when Ray Scheuer ended a 60-yard interception that gave the Dons the 6-0 lead. Yeah?
Jack, I was just checking the statistics from last week's game when Campion played the Thompson Royals. They beat them. They gave up only 65 yards on the ground in the entire game, and so far the Dons have picked up 74, so they have a good defensive team, but they were vulnerable for 141 yards in the air, so that's probably what their coach stressed more this week, and I think after starting Columbus, seeing the arm that the Silver Extra has, you have to, I noticed their secondary is playing quite deep here, and it's going to be a little bit hard, but as I said, I will never criticize the officials because too much goes on for 3 men to watch out there. But I do think that, especially that last one, Paul Manson was pushed right out in the open. I thought Crow was going to have a sit down here in the sideline. It was a definite pass interference, but the officials just didn't call it that way. So those are the breaks you take. They kind of even off, I think, as the night goes on. Same way in basketball, you sit there and you gripe about this call or that call. But I guess if you look at the films for the year, I think all this stuff would kind of balance off. You've got Bill Draxler so far in his two previous games has attempted 31 attempts and completed 18. There's only one intercepted, and he's gained 440 yards by passing. He's averaged 14 yards a pass and thrown 6 touchdown passes. But this boy, Ray Sawyer, he's intercepted a pass for earlier game for a touchdown. He's picked off one here tonight. He kicks the extra points. He has a total of 19 points thus far tonight. I do wish Columbus had that 7 up there instead of that 6 because I feel very confident that if they score, this boy can put them through unless we get through like Jimmy Hausenberger did when he attempted to make the field goal and block. We do have a quick line, a good line out there. Not big. I wish we had more size, but most teams do. I guess you wish you had the size. But the Dons seem to be picking up now a little bit more in their reserve strength too. I think at times they can't help but miss the ball like this Willie Wilcott, especially the kid that's a senior that's played since he was a freshman at that linebacker spot. I think that's where we're getting kind of stuck out there on that kind of a cross buck or scissors, whatever you want to call it. The motion goes one way and the runner kind of hesitates and he cuts back, gets the handoff from the quarterback. The hole has been there simply because the Columbus boys have been maybe just a little bit too fast in trying to follow the play, and then the play comes back at him and he threw there for 5, 6, 7 yards. But I have all the confidence in the world in Coach Crow of getting this situation under control. I'm sure this team was scouted very, very thoroughly because I doubt very much that there's a better scout in high school football today than Don Soderberg. Everyone he talked to tells you that. But he scouts a football game. He just knows every move of every boy, and it's quite an art to sit there and watch 11 men move and really put down on paper what the 11 men are doing. I've never sat with a real football scout. I like to sit with him some night, Jack, just to see how he does this. Soderberg, he really follows the play. I watched him over at Assumption last year when they were playing for Kelly, and he's right down on the sideline moving around. But I don't know how they can watch 11 guys at one time the way they do to see what's going to happen. Here come the Dons back onto the field. They're playing the Columbus High School song.
The Columbus High School Dons return for second half action. The score, Marshfield Columbus 6, Prairie du Chien Campion nothing. We're looking forward to a big battle here in the next 2 quarters of play. Halftime show presented by Marshfield Women's Stationery Incorporated and by Chip Snyder at Marshfield Northside. The Columbus High School Dons gathered around Coach Crow right now. Gathered around waiting for Coach Crow, we should say, as coaches just about to join them. Meanwhile, the Campion Knights are spread out over the field doing some loosening up exercises. The Dons will be receiving the start second half play. We had a great first half. There's a lot of excitement in store for us as we get set to go here for second half play. The clock for halftime intermission shows still some time remaining, but just now the clock is stopped and ticked off down to 12 minutes, and we're all set to go with second half play as the Columbus High School Dons send their units out there. Back in the lineup, we notice now for the Columbus High School Dons is Bill Seidel. He may be back there as one of the boys to return that kickoff. We're not sure. Normally, Paul Mansell and Dave Drack are back there, and they're both in the ball game, so we'll see how they line up as we get set to go. Bill Draxler, the quarterback, along the sidelines, taking some warm-up process, and he's throwing to Paul Bloom, I believe. At least that's Paul Bloom's number, and I assume that that's probably Paul. We hope so. And, he has been having some foot trouble and been in the hospital. We hope that he soon will return to play because Coach Crow was expecting a lot of fine football out of Paul Bloom this year prior to that problem. I'd like to send our best wishes along to the School Sisters of Notre Dame. We're sure listening at Columbus High School and pulling just as hard as we are for a Columbus High School victory here this evening. A lot of transistor radios also in the stands. We send our special hello to them as we get set to go. And we'll see what happens now as the Campion Knights. Randy Ham has the ball teed up on the 40-yard line. He'll be kicking with the south goal to his back, kicking toward the north goal. The Dons will be receiving with Seidel, Mansell, and Trock. Back as the boys likely return this kickoff. And there's a high end-over-end kick coming down to Paul Mansell on the 15 straight ahead. 20, 25. He's at the 30. He's at the 35. It's the 37-yard line. Paul Mansell. Maybe to the 38 before Roy Schneck made the stop. Nope, they say the 37. First and 10 for the Columbus High School Dons from the 37-yard line. Up over the ball. The Campion Knights defensively. Jock has come to the sideline. Seidel is in the ball game at a wingback spot. Rasmussen and Koenig are the running back. The handoff to Koenig, and he slips and falls in his own backfield back on the 35-yard line. Paul Mansell is putting on his new shirt. He's number 13 normally, but he's going to be wearing 15. I believe he has taken Huey Hughes' jersey, and that's the case, as Mansell had number 13 torn away. Jock has gone back in the ballgame, I believe, replacing Kurt Koenig. Mansell still on the sidelines, ready to go in now. Ray Scheuer comes out here to the left. The handoff is given to Rasmussen. He fights back to the original line of scrimmage, picking up the 2 yards that were lost on the previous play. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Dons from the 37. Jim Williamson making the stop. Paul Mansell, now wearing number 15, has replaced Bill Seidel at the wingback spot. Lucky number 13 for Paul Mansell has been tossed aside, torn up on that kickoff return. So here we go with a 3rd down play now, and 10. Draxler, the quarterback, is fading to pass. He's looking, he's throwing it, incomplete, intended for Marzinski. He had it, couldn't hold on to it. Right in his hands, and as he grabbed the ball, he was hit hard by a Campion Knight, and that jarred the ball away from him. And a 4th and 10 comes up for Campion, for the Columbus High School Dons. And Campion will drop back in receiving formation for this punt that will be made by Paul Mansell. The 2 halfbacks, Steve Peterson and Mike Miller, trot back in twin safety somewhere around their own 30-yard line. Mansell will be kicking from his own 25. Line's poised, snap from center, and the kick is away. That's the spiraling beauty. Coming down to the 25-yard line where it's fair caught by Mike Miller. And it's 1st and 10 for Campion now as they get the ball for the first time here in the second half. We'll see where they spot it. It's on the 29-yard line. Mansell with a nice kick that time. Got fair distance, good height, so there was no return. The Campion backfield will have Tim Moore at quarterback, Jim Crouch at the fullback spot, and the halfback, Steve Peterson and Mike Miller. And coming off here to the right is Peterson, who is the flanker back. Ends in tight. Moore, the quarterback, sets his ball club, takes the snap, hands off to the halfback, trying to go to the outside, which is Miller. He's met at the line of scrimmage and has maybe a yard. Blasting through there was Terry Kaiser to make the stop and helped out on the play by Jim Marzinski. A gain of about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Campion. The ball now on their own 31-yard line. 9 minutes, 50 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. The Columbus High School Dons leading 6-0. Up over the ball tonight. Moore, the quarterback, takes the snap, rolls to his right, hands off to the halfback, trying to get to the outside, and he's met by Kaiser at the 35. Fine defensive play by Kaiser. Helped out by Dave Drock and also Ed Schmersing. The 3 boys combining, but Kaiser was the boy who snapped the play up first on the 35 after a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd and 4 for Campion from the 35. Ball in their own territory. Up over the ball they come. That off tackle play has worked quite well for Campion. Tim Moore, the quarterback, takes the snap, takes the handoff, then pitches back. A fumble, the Dons have it on the 32-yard line. The pitch back to Peterson got away from him, and falling on the ball was Terry Kaiser. Kaiser, a tremendous defensive game, comes up with that football. Dons take over an excellent field position. 1st and 10, we'll say, from the 33-yard line. Terry Kaiser with the fumble recovery on the pitch out by Moore back to his halfback Miller, and it got away from him. Hit him on the shoulder pad. Bounce free and Kaiser recovered. Don's up over the ball now. Mansell, the wing back off to the right. The handoff is given to Rasmussen, who breaks into the secondary. Crosses the 25 to the 23-yard line. A gain of almost 10 by the young sophomore back. Fine run by Rasmussen. Making the stop was Steve Peterson, and it's close enough for a measurement. So we'll give Rasmussen a 10-yard gain of inches one way or another. And with 8:34 remaining in the third quarter, the clock is stopped. The Marshfield Sportscasters Club sending you the play-by-play report on WDLB in Marshfield. Remember, stay tuned following the broadcast of this game for Coach Johnny Coulter's Wisconsin Badgers and their opening game of the 1968 football season. Rasmussen fell short by maybe a foot, so we'll say it's second down and about a foot to go from the 23-yard line. Don's leading 6-0 in excellent field position right now. Up over the ball comes the Columbus High School Dons. Rasmussen, the running back, and Drock and Mansell, the other backs. Drock, the other running back, Mansell, the wing back. The handoff to Rasmussen. He spins and gets the first down as he fights to the 20. He was hit at the 22, spun and got 2 more to the 20. A good move. Stop made by Jim Trosh, fullback for Campion and a linebacker. 1st and 10 for the Columbus High School Dons. They have penetrated the Campion's 20-yard line after the fumble recovery by Perry Kaiser. He has been some defensive ball player for the Dons. Straxler with the ball. Hands off again to Rasmussen. And this time he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage, has maybe a yard. Making the stop with Randy Ham. They spotted on the 20, we'll say. No gain. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 20. Ray Scheuer has come to the sideline. And Perry Kaiser is going in. Scheuer is having some equipment trouble. The Dons have had a lot of equipment problems this evening. One after another has come to the sideline. There's the snap. The handoff is pitched back to Drock, who's in trouble and going to be hit for a loss back on his own 27-yard line. Bob Johnson, a fine player for Prairie du Chien Campion, defensively made the stop. A 7-yard loss. It's going to be 3rd and 17 for the Dons. Back on the 27, and Scheuer is back in replacing Kaiser. So a 3rd down, long yardage situation now. We'll see what the Columbus High School Dons quarterback Bill Draxler will call. The Dons passing game has not been clicking like it has in the first 2 games, and he's fading the pass right now. He's looking. He's going to have to run. He can't get out of there. He's spilled back on the 29-yard line. I think the pass was intended out on the flat for Drock, but Drock was tackled, and there's a marker down on the field. We'll wait and see. Drock was knocked down. When Draxler looked that way, Drock was the only boy out this way, and he was flat on the ground. And then a penalty occurs at the point where the ball carrier was dropped. It could have been a face guard violation. We'll wait and see for the signal. But it's a 15-yarder against Campion. And that's what it is. And the ball goes down to the 15-yard line now. And it's going to be 3rd down and about 5 yards or so. Less than 5. Up over the ball come the Dons. A big break for Columbus right there. Draxler, the quarterback. Hands off to Rasmussen. He can't go. He fumbles. Campion has it on the 15. Campion recovers on the 15-yard line, and the fumble recovery stops the Dons' threat. Steve Peterson in on the ball. 1st and 10 Campion now on their own 15-yard line. Rasmussen trying to go off the left side. Couldn't do so. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage and then lost the football. And Campion takes over. 1st and 10, 6.5 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The Dons leading 6-0. The quarterback takes the ball, hands to the fullback, who gets away from 2-3 tacklers in his own backfield or at the line of scrimmage. Rose and Schmerzik had him there. Couldn't hold on to him. And Tom Coleman finished him up as he crossed the line of scrimmage and got about 2 yards. And Jim Hasselberger helping on the tackle. So it's going to be 2nd and 8 Campion from the 17. That ball carrier, Jim Trosh, is a fine fullback. He can step out of tackles as he blasts through that line of scrimmage. There's the snap, the handoff again to Troush. This time there's an opening, and he's got good yardage as he fights up close to the 25-yard line and close to a first down before he's powered back. Dave Drock along with Paul Mansell making the stop. We'll see where they spot the ball. Into the game for the Dons, Fitz Hostreiter replacing Ed Schmersik. Schmersik goes right back in now, and Rose is coming out. So it's going to be third down and about 1 for Campion from the 24-yard line. Quarterback, Moore, takes the snap. Quarterback sneak. He fights for the first down, I do believe. He's got it as he gets across the 25 to close to the 26. Ed Schmersik holding on and pulling him back at that point. So the Campion Knights get themselves out of a little bit of trouble as they were deep in their own territory on the 15. Have now weaseled it out to the 27. It's first and 10 for Campion from their own 27. 5 minutes. 10 seconds left in the third quarter. The Dons leading 6-0. Moore sets his ball club. Hands off to the fullback who breaks up nicely and comes across the 30 to the 33-yard line where Al Hardo made a hard tackle on him, but Troush just carried him along to the 33-yard line. A pickup of 6. It's going to be 2nd and 4 from that point. Rose goes back into the ball game. Checks it in place of Schmersik. The Dons are going to have to stop that off-tackle business of Campion. Moore, the quarterback, hands off to the halfback off the left side that time, Peterson, and he fights up close to a first down on a cross. It's going to be a first down for Campion. Ray Shire in on the stop, along with Perry Kaiser. First and 10 for Campion from their own 38-yard line. The Dons players along the sidelines and their fans starting to call for that defensive unit to toughen up down there. Campion with back-to-back first downs on the ground. Moore, the quarterback, hands off to the fullback, and a flag goes down on the play. And the fullback carrying that time was Miller. He carried up to the 44, but we could have a holding penalty against Campion, and that's what it is. Offensive holding, and it'll cost them 15. And Dell, that flag went down right through the hole that the ball carrier went through, and it was very obvious that a Campion tackle may have missed a block and moved his man out with his hand on that particular play.
That may be one reason why they're picking up all his yardage. They went to the opposite side that time. I think they're giving Jimmy Hauselberger a rest on the sideline, so he plays a lot of football out there. And they may want to just give him just a little bit words of wisdom on that linebacking spot, what to look for, what to remind them what they had in their scouting report. They got Mike Colby playing at the linebacker spot now. You can spot him beautifully because his uniform is perfectly white. It's the first play of the game outside of kicking off there.
All right, here we go. The quarterback with the ball pitches back to the halfback who's hit behind the line of scrimmage and they dropped for a loss. Tremendous defensive effort by the Columbus High School Dons end that time, which was Jim Morzinski, I do believe. Morzinski got through and upset the interference and the ball carrier for a loss of about a yard on the play, making it 2nd and 26, back on the 23. And that sweep never got started. Steve Peterson, the wingback, way off to the right. The split end is Jarek off to the left. Quarterback with the ball, looks and throws right over the middle, complete to his other end, which is Martin. With a good gainer, he comes up to the Dons' 38-yard line, as the Dons' middle was wide open that time, and the quarterback just tossed it to him. And finally, Brock made the stop on the 38. And Morzinski helped out a 15-yard gain on that play. And now it's third down and about 11. Third down and a long 11, we'll say, from the 38. Barney has gone into the ball game. And now he's going to come back out. Third down, about 11 for Campion. The snap and the quarterback fading the pass. Rushes on, they get to him, but he gets rid of the ball, and the receiver is hit for a big loss. Back on the 32-yard line on the screen play. And Del, I don't know if you saw Perry Kaiser go in there, but he really went after that quarterback. He had to throw it. He threw it out on the flat with a screen trying to form, and the Dons diagnosed it perfectly. Bob Rose, the first man to him, dropped him for a loss back on the 31, a loss of 7 on that completed screen pass. Punt formation for Campion. Kevin Krogmeyer back to kick as Drock and Mansell go back in twin safeties on their own, between their 35 and 40-yard line. There's the snap from center. A good snap. The kick is almost blocked by Kaiser, who came through hard. Drock fair catches the ball on the Dons' 37 or 8-yard line. Kaiser was in there again from his defensive end spot, and he almost got a piece of that football on the punt. So the Dons take over 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line. With the help of a holding penalty, the Dons stopped Campion after they had back-to-back first downs. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Clock running. Dons leading 6-0. Bill Draxler, the quarterback. Hands off to the halfback Drock, I believe, and Dave fires for a yard or two. We'll see where they spot it. Going pretty tough for Dave Drock. They apparently are looking for him and have keyed their defense on him. Bob Johnson made the stop after a gain of 2 yards, we'll say. 2nd and 8 from close to the 39. This time Mansell comes to the left. Ray Scheuer is split the opposite way from the split end spot. In motion this way comes Drock. A pitch is back to Drock, and he couldn't hold on to it. Over his head, incomplete. With an open field around him, he was still behind the line of scrimmage, but Mansell had cleared the way going deep. The boys went downfield with Mansell, and Drock out here on the flat was in the open, but he didn't hang on to the football. It wasn't a well-thrown pass, but it wasn't a badly thrown pass either. It could have been handled. 3rd and 8 from the Columbus High School Dons. 1 minute and 22 seconds remaining. The Dons aerial game has gone flat this evening, and it has hurt them. Without an aerial game going, it makes that ground game just that much tougher. We're sure that Draxler may have to go to the air again. Drock in motion as Dave rolls back, or Bill Draxler looking. He's going to be hit. And he's going to lose big yardage back to the 32-yard line. He couldn't find anybody open. Roger Jarrett got through to make the stop, and the Dons will have to kick. The ball is back on their 32-yard line. A loss of 7. Randy Ham making the stop. And Peterson and Miller go back in twin safeties for Campion, as Mansell will be kicking from about his own 22-yard line or so. 45 seconds left in the third quarter. A barn burner here. A high snap from center. Paul high in the air, gets it, and then gets the kick away, and it's a pretty kick. Bounces on the 35, a good hop. Down to the 30, inside the 30, still trickling around down there, and will go dead on the 28 or 27-yard line. And you have to give Paul Mansell a little credit there. That was a high snap from center, and Paul really went up in the air. It looked like surely it was going over his head, but he got up in the air and grabbed that ball, came down with a rush on, got the kick away at a nice kick, and Campion has it 1st and 10 on their own 29-yard line, and they very easily could have had that down somewhere around the Columbus 29-yard line. Campion comes up over the ball. 20 seconds left till the end of the third quarter. Quarterback hands off to keeps it himself. He's being chased. He's hit way behind the line of scrimmage, back on the 16-yard line. Two boys going through there, the two ends, Terry Kaiser and Jim Marzinski. Kaiser and Marzinski, a pair of ends, and a Campion player is injured. It is Randy Ham, their tackle and kickoff man, and he has hurt his leg. He's back on the 33-yard line, and the third quarter comes to an end with a long loss for Campion.
Well, Jack, this is really quite a football game. Their kicker, they're kicking off Randy Ham, their big 205 tackle. Seems to have sustained an ankle injury, but we've got ourselves really a brutal battle out here tonight. This is rock'em sock'em, good old-fashioned football. The Dons, if they could just get that passing game going, we could really, I think I could breathe this a little bit easier out here tonight, but the passing game, if the ball is there, it's dropped, or if this last time Billy went back to pass, when I say Bill, I mean Draxler, was really swarmed under something. First I thought, oh my Lord, it's going to be a screen pass, but it wasn't even intended to be a screen pass. It just got through. There was a complete breakdown in the blocking, so let's hope they can get that organized in the fourth period. I don't think this boy wants to put that ball in the air too much, although he has completed 2 passes, one for a 15-yard gain and the other one for a 7-yard loss. But he's had 2 intercepted. Maybe we can pick one off right about now and start this fourth quarter in good style.
Second down and about 22 to go for Campion. Long yardage. Quarterback is Tim Moore. Takes the snap, takes the handoff, and then gives the handoff to the halfback who goes off the right side, breaks up across the 20-yard line to the 23 or 4-yard line. Carrying that time was Jim Troush. And Drock making the stop on the 24-yard line, a gain of 7. Drock had help from Bob Rose. It's going to be third down and about 15. Still long yardage for Campion. We're in the final period. The Dons leading Campion 6-0. In a real thriller here at beautiful Beale Stadium on a perfect night for football and a dandy ball game it is. Up over the ball, Campion on the third down, long yardage. Moore, the quarterback, is fading to pass, drafting straight back. Rushed, he throws, it is incomplete, intercepted. The Dons, I believe, have it. Let's wait and see. It's going to be an interception by Paul Manso and a fantastic interception on the 39-yard line. Great effort. The Dons have the ball. First and 10 on Campion's 39. And the Dons get a break here, and let's see if they can move in now. 11 minutes, 12 seconds left in the final period. The Dons leading 6-0 in Campion territory. Brock in motion to the right. A little swing pass out to Brock. He's got it to 40, 35. He's at the 30 and goes out of bounds with an open field at the 25. The turf a little slippery down there. The grass wet from the dew. And Brock, as he tried to cut, had his feet go out from under him, and he went sailing out of bounds on the 25. He was not tackled. He just slid out of bounds. Brian O'Malley, the closest boy to him. There's a 14-yard gainer, and the Dons have it first and 10 on Campion's 25. Backs to the quarterback, hands off to Rasmussen, he fumbles. Picked up, still scrambled for, and Campion has it on the 31-yard line. As the Dons couldn't pick the football up, 2-3 boys had it. Rasmussen originally fumbled, the ball bounced away from him. And Dave Brock, I was sure, had it on the 30, and he lost it, and Campion's Roger Derrick got it on the 32-yard line. And Campion gets a big break right back. First and 10 from their own 32-yard line. And Moore, the quarterback, asked for a new ball. Well, he had to have some alibi, Dal. But we will certainly concede the fact that that ball in the grass gets wet and slippery. And Moore, the quarterback for the Campion Knights, just got himself a new football. The handoff is given to the fullback, or check that, to Miller, trying to cut back, and he couldn't go. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage. Carrying that time was Mike Miller, and Jim Hasselberger got him for a loss of about a yard on the play. It's second and 11. The ball back on the 31-yard line. 10 minutes, 20 seconds roughly remaining in the ball game. Quarterback sneak, and the quarterback, Moore, gets 3-4 yards and then is powered back as he tried to go quickly ahead on a quick count on top of it. But the Dons center sagged just a bit and then stopped him after a gain of about 3 yards to the 34. Making the stop, Bob Rose for the Columbus Dons, along with Tommy Coleman. It's going to be third down and 7 from the 34. Another big play for Campion and the Dons, of course. There's the snap, and the quarterback is fading the pass. He's being rushed. He throws. It's complete. They've got the first down just on the Dons' 43-yard line. The pass was taken by the flanker back, and Coleman made the stop on Peterson as he maneuvered for the first down on the Dons' 43-yard line, or Campion's 43-yard line. First and 10 for Prairie du Chien Campion from their own 43. The Dons' rush was again in on that passer. Moore, the quarterback, and the quarterback sneak has a couple and is stopped. He put his head down, followed the charge of his center, and drove from the 43 to the 45. It'll be second and 8 from that point. Jim Hasselberger making the stop. Just over 9 minutes remaining in the ball game. The Dons clinging to a very uncomfortable 6-0 lead. Moore, the quarterback, takes the snap. Hands to the halfback, who comes to the 50 in the Columbus territory. He may have a first down at the Dons' 48 or 47-yard line. Making the stop was Ray Scheuer, very close to a first down. The officials are looking, and they're going to measure. Dell?
Well, we really got a battle out here tonight. I know I was just a little bit excited. I usually don't get too excited at football games, but they're kind of ripping our line apart right now, and I think they're going to hit that quick pass over the middle because our linebackers are being sucked in real close into the line of scrimmage. We practically got an 8-man line, it did work on one play for that 15-yard play. So it was not a first down. It's about half a yard short, I'd say. So they got third down. This would be a big play if the Dons could stop them, but I doubt very much whether they would punt with that. They could, as long as they had 2 cracks at it, unless we can get them for a loss back there. There's some discussion out there now. This Tim Moore is a good quarterback for. We got 2 fine quarterbacks on the field tonight, Draxler and this Moore, and 2 fine football teams. It's a pleasure to watch them play.
Third down, less than a foot to go for Campion from the Dons' 48-yard line. Quarterback takes the ball, hands off, fumble! Picked up by the quarterback on the 15. He's still close to the first down, but he didn't make it. Powers back at the last moment. And it'll be a 4th down play. Moore fumbled that ball. And finally, Dave Brock made the stop on the 49-yard line. A loss of about a yard on the play, and it's going to be 4th down and a yard and a half to go for Campion. From just across the midfield stripe on the Dons' 49-yard line. We'll see what they do. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the ball game, and Quagmire is going back into punt formation. The Dons aren't sure if they should believe this or not. He'll be kicking from his own 40. A short snap. And the flag on the play, and the pass is complete to the halfback, which is Miller, and he's dropped to the Dons' 34. It'll be a first down, but there's a marker on the play, and I think illegal procedure will be called against Campion. The ball was snapped short to one of the blockers up in front of the punter. He threw the pass. That was complete to Miller. The tackle was made by Brock as he came up from his twin safety spot. But there is an illegal motion penalty. And that play will go for naught. It'll be 4th down now and about 6.5 yards to go. And we'll see if Campion is still going to gamble or if they will now play straight and kick. A lot of time remaining in the ball game. They still have time to punt, get the ball back, and start a drive, providing they could stop the Dons' offense. Quagmire back to kick from about his own 35. There's the snap. And he's kicking this time, and it's a high end-over-end kick. Fair catch, called for by Mansell on the 27. So the Dons take over 1st and 10 on their own 27-yard line. And the tension continues to build at Beale. 1st and 10 for the Dons from their own 27-yard line. 6-0. Columbus leading Campion in a dandy at Beale. CWCC action. 7:15 right now on the clock. The Dons taking their time, now come up over the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 27. They may have to hurry to get this play on the way. Draxler, the quarterback, takes the snap, hands off to the fullback, who comes up close to the 30-yard line. Carrying was Rasmussen. Picked up about 3 yards. The stop was made by Tom Martin. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Dons from their own 30-yard line. 6 minutes and 45 seconds left in the ball game. The Dons leading 6-0 on a 60-yard interception by Ray Scheuer with 39 seconds left in the first half. Draxler sends Strock in motion. Takes the handoff, keeps himself, but gets only to a line of scrimmage, gains a yard, maybe. And he was pinned in by Ed Karstensen. It looked that time that he may be going to flip a lateral to Strock. However, he never got time to get rid of the football. And it's going to be 3rd down 6 from the 31 of the Dons. Columbus with the ball in their own territory. Campion trying to get momentum here. They appear to have it. However, to keep it, they would have to stop the Dons on this play. Draxler's looking to pass. A little swing out to Draxler. He's got it. He's got a first down at the 40, 35, 50. Campion territory, 48-yard line. There are no flags down on the field. That play will stand. The Dons are out of a jam on the little swing pass. Draxler to Drock. And the Dons have a good gainer. Jim Troush made the stop finally on Drock on the Campion 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for Columbus from that point. And there was one of the biggest first downs of this ballgame. The Dons have running room to their right. Scheuer comes out here. Mansell splits to the left. The handoff is given to Rasmussen. He's at the 45. He's at Campion's 44-yard line. Hitting hard off the left side. Stop made by Roger Jarek. But that's a pickup of about 4 yards. And it's 2nd and 6 from the 44. And Dell, that pendulum may be swinging now. The momentum may be coming Columbus' way. Bill Drexler taking his time back in the huddle. The clock working in favor of Columbus right now. 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game as Drexler hands off to Drack, who's met behind the line of scrimmage and smeared on the 46. Bob Johnson blasting through there. And it's a loss on the play of 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 8. The ball on the 46-yard line. 3rd and a long 8. We'll see what the quarterback calls for. They've been trying to keep the ball on the ground for the most part, going to the air when they need. Drexler is fading this time. Looks and throws for Manso. He's got it. It's bumped out of bounds. It'll be an incomplete pass on the 40 as he couldn't hold it as he was hit hard from behind. And Manso is injured along the sidelines. And Paul is the Dons punter on a 4th down play coming up. Bill Drexler has come to the sidelines and Coach Crow is going to take a timeout with 4:35 remaining. I believe it's just a cramp in the leg, Dal. At least I hope that's all it is.
I'm sure it's a cramp. The way the doctors are rubbing it, he's in a lot of pain, but this is like a Charlie horse, and it is very, very painful. But I think they'll rub that out of him. Ed Schmersick will punt, can punt, and he's a good punter too. If he gets a good snap from center. But remember the last time Paul, thanks to good Lord, he was a fine basketball player and a good rebounder because he really had to jump up there about 10 feet to get that ball from center. Well, what we need right now is a good punt to keep him back in a hole and not a return. But Paul is not, he's up on his feet. He's putting a little weight on it now, but I'm sure it's just a Charlie horse. He is limping because those things are very painful. Let's hope Ed gets this ball away fine.
Schmersick back to kick on his own 45, the biggest punt of his career. There's a good snap from center. Schmersick gets the kick away. A line drive kick, not a high one, but it's fair caught by Campion. Now he's going to run with it, and he comes up to the 20-yard line, to the 21-yard line. We're sure he fair caught that, but there's no penalty down, and the play is going to stand. Steve Varney making the stop. And Campion will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 21-yard line. Well, Del, I don't know what else that would have been. That hand was definitely in the air.
It had to be a fair catch. He did signal for a fair catch, and the referee was just sleeping, just plain sleeping down there.
All righty, 1st and 10 Campion. Quarterback is Moore. Takes the snap. Hands off to the halfback off the right side. I believe that's Miller. Nope, check that. That was Peterson carrying, and he knifed up across the line of scrimmage to the 24-yard line, and Adon is injured on the play. Limping off the field is Tom Coleman, who made the stop, but again, it looks just like a cramp. Bob Rose is coming off, too, and Kurt Koenig will go in, the defensive alignment for the Dons. The ball is on their 24-yard line. 2nd and 6, Campion. There's the snap, the handoff to the halfback off the right side, Crouch, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Gets maybe one at the very most. Ed Schmersick making the stop, and they spot it down at the line of scrimmage. We'll say no gain, making it 3rd and 6 from the 24. And Campion is faced with a big play with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this ball game. The Columbus High School Dons leading 6-0. 3rd down, 6 for Campion. Quarterback takes the snap. Saves the pass. Rushes on. They got him. He's going to be hit for a loss. Back on the 18. And Rose, or Moore, throws the ball out of the pile up there. As a little unhappy he couldn't get free and get rid of that ball. The loss back to the 18-yard line. Fitz Hostreiter leading the charge of the Dons forward line. The ball back on the 19-yard line. A 5-yard loss on the play. 4th down and about 12 for Campion with 2:45 left in the game. And Quagmire is back to kick. The Dons don't believe it. They're not sending anybody back. There's the snap. It bounces back to Quagmire, and he gets the kick away, and it's a short kick that will bounce on Campion's 40 and takes a good hop across the 45 to the 50 and rolls out of bounds somewhere around the 47-yard line of the Dons. So a couple bad bounces there, Del. One that it bounced downfield, and secondly, it bounced out of bounds, stopping the clock.
What we need now, Jack, is a couple first downs and make Campion use up their timeouts. They have them all left for them. But if we start moving the ball on the ground for a couple first downs and That eats up the clock, and also you can run off about 30 seconds of play in high school, 25 in a huddle, and then you takes about 8-10 seconds or so to run a running play at least. So let's get a couple first downs here.
Bill Draxler, the quarterback, hands off to Rasmussen, and they're fighting. They're tackling the ball as Rasmussen went in there. The first boy who took a shot at him didn't go for his legs. He went for his arm, trying to rip it away from him. And Bob Johnson is credited with the stop along with Jim Williamson after a gain of 1 yard, making it 2nd and 9 from the 48-yard line, we'll call it. Clock continues to run. 2 minutes remaining in the ball game right now. Up over the ball come the Dons. Draxler, the quarterback, pitches back to Drock. Drock trying to get a block, sweeping to the outside, cuts back in. He's at the midfield stripe. He's to Campion's 49-yard line, maybe, and stopped hard at that point. Drock getting up slowly. He was hit hard at that point by 2 or 3 Campion Knights, including Bob Johnson. So a short gain on the play from his own 48 to his 49, a pickup of 3. It's 3rd and 6 for Columbus from Campion's 49-yard line. A minute and a half remaining, and the clock is running. Mansell to the right, Scheuer to the left. The Dons have 3rd and a long 6. A big play here. Drax, hand off to Drock. He's got an opening. He's at the 45. He didn't get the first down as he went down close to the 43. I don't believe he got the first down. A tremendous defensive tackle by Mike Miller. And we are going to have a measurement here. We will have a measurement on the Campion 43-yard line. It looks like they're a little bit short from our vantage point. We'll wait and see. This Miller really put a great tackle on the ball carrier that time, Drock. He stopped him right in his tracks. It looked like Drock would be able to drag him for the extra little bit needed for the first down, but he couldn't quite. And we'll see as they stretch it out, they're about a foot short, a little better than a foot short. And it's a 4th down play with 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining to be played in the ball game. Will the Dons go for it or will they punt? A first down here would just about wrap it up. They still will have Campion deep in their own, not deep in their own territory, but in their own territory on the 43-yard line. The ball game is hanging probably on this play right now as the Dons come up in running formation. Campion stacked up along the line, digging in defensively. 67 seconds remaining. The clock is not started as yet. They will have to mark it in play pretty soon. We're not sure why. Now it's finally marked in play and the clock starts. Draxler, the quarterback, sends a halfback in motion. Quarterback sneak. Bill's got the first down. He's got it. He's to the 42, maybe the 41-yard line. And Campion now will have to use their timeouts for sure as that clock is stopped with 57 seconds remaining in the ball game. Stop made by Jim Crouch. 1st and 10 for the Columbus High School Dons from the Campion 41-yard line. Now the clock is started. 50 seconds remaining. Clock is running. It's down to 45 seconds in the ball game. 1st and 10 for the Dons. They can use out that clock now. 40 seconds left. Quarterback sneak and Draxler's into the secondary. He's at the 30. He's at the 25. He's at the 20, 15, 10, and drops out of bounds on the 8-yard line. And this one is belonging more and more to the Dons right now. The stop was made by Mike Miller, who made a fine defensive play to stop Draxler on the 8-yard line. Bill Draxler, content to run the clock out, kept the ball on the quarterback sneak and suddenly found himself in the secondary and went racing down inside the 10-yard line to the 8. It's 1st and goal to go from the 8-yard line. 15 seconds right now left in the ball game. Draxler keeping. It's going to throw it in the end zone. Incomplete in the end zone. And Coach Crow is saying, no. The Dons want another touchdown. But I think with 5 seconds left, I believe that's 5 seconds on the scoreboard clock, they will not put the ball in the air again. Whoa, some gray hair. And you wonder why coaches do get gray hair. Had that ball been picked off along the near sidelines, it would have been a long way to go. But when you throw out there that way, a lot can happen. Ask the Dons and Ray Scheuer. Here we go with Draxler with a quarterback sneak. Gets down inside the 5. And now the clock is running with 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. The Campion is apparently out of timeouts. The ball game is over, and the Dons beat the Campion Knights in a hard-fought football game here at Beal Stadium by a score of 6-0 on Ray Scheuer's brilliant 60-yard pass interception touchdown run. Well, there we have it, a great victory for the Dons. A great victory for the Columbus High School Dons as they edge out Campion by a score of 6-0. And I believe Jim Coleman is being helped off the field with his foot off his right foot, shoe off the right foot, apparently an ankle injury. And we hope that Coleman will be all right as he is leaving the field with a little bit of help, but now he's walking on his own. But the shoe is off, and he apparently injured an ankle. A great victory for the Columbus High School Dons by the narrowest of margins, 6-0 in a real thriller here at Beal Stadium. And those of you who are at home and missed it, well, I hope you'll come out to the next ball game of the Columbus High School Dons, because they play some great football, and this was truly an enjoyable evening here at Beal Stadium, although a little nervous at that. Quickly, so we can join the University of Wisconsin Football Network for the broadcast, Del Connaughty will make some quick comments on the statistics.
Okay, Jack. Columbus gained 123 yards, rushing 45, passing for a total of 128 yards. And the Campion Knights gained 103 yards, rushing 17 by passing for a total of 20 yards. Jeff Rasmussen was a big ground gainer for both teams tonight. He carried the ball for 58 yards, where his boy fullback Crouch carried it for 56. Bill Draxler picked up 30 yards. He had 32 on that one beautiful play. He wasn't a hole up until then, and he had a quarterback sneak. The middle was open. They were looking for something else, and away they went. In the kicking department, we just had our friend Columbus Campion kicked 6 times for 31 yards, Columbus 4 times for a 32-yard average. We aren't going to give you the attempts and completions right now. We've gave you the totals. And the most important thing, we're going to give you the score. It's Columbus Dons 6 and the Campion Knights nothing. And Columbus, it still retains that winning string, now increased to 14 games, Jack.
A great victory for the Columbus High School Dons. Congratulations to Coach Crow and the Fighting Columbus High School Dons, who now are 2-0 in the conference. They get set to play next Saturday when they travel to Eau Claire for a game against Regis High School at Carson Park. That should be an interesting ball game also next Saturday night at 8 o'clock at Eau Claire Regis. And next Friday night, the Marshwood Senior High School Tigers will be playing Stevens Point here at Beal Stadium. It will be the Tigers' homecoming game next Friday night, the Marshwood Tigers against the Stevens Point Panthers. A quick comment, Darryl?
Well, Jack, I don't think we can say enough for this boy, Ray Scheuer, the ball he's been playing for Columbus. We got this boy Kaiser out there and this Jimmy Hauserberger. It's just a fine all-around football team. They're not big, but they give you 100%, and I guess that's what brings the fans out here, Jack.
And that's what does. We had a beautiful crowd here, and we invite you out to the Dons' next home game.